Welcome back, everybody, to the Exit Row. I'm your host, Adama Anderson, here with Justin Moore.
Hey, how's it going?
Paige Larson.
Hey, guys.
And everybody that's over there looking at us on the cameras.
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
It's us looking at ourselves at the moment.
Wait, that's true.
Yeah.
Those who are going to be
Just
watching.
imagine the world is on the other side of that camera.
There we go. Yeah, so we now have video.
The internet.
We're trying to use video, but we're going to change it up later, but this is just temporary. So, yeah, guys. So we have had a lot of traveling that has occurred in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Since last we spoke. How about since last we spoke?
Yeah.
Since last episode. And yeah, hey, Paige, want to talk about your trip? Where'd you go?
Well, I went to the amazing land of Boise, Ohio. Idaho.
Oh.
Idaho. Oops, sorry. Idaho.
That's a blooper. That's
Oops.
going to be a blooper.
Boise, Ohio.
Boise, Ohio.
It's been a long day, okay? So scratch that. Start over. Boise, Idaho. Sorry to Idaho people. But yeah.
Sorry to Ohio people as well, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went there. I started out with Delta Connection on the ERJ 175.
Do you remember the regional carrier? Like, was it SkyWest?
Yes, SkyWest. Yep. And
Boise,
so-
Ohio. Got it.
To Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City, Nevada.
Salt Lake City.
Just kidding.
Stop
I'm
it.
done. I'm out.
You know what, y'all?
Come on now. Hey, listen, you did this to yourself.
I'm never going to be able to live this down now because of you two. That's how
You
it is
did
for
it, though.
everything.
You said
All seven,
Boise,
It was
Ohio.
an accident.
all 757s are A321s as well.
I was hoping
Hey,
you
I
forgot
remember that.
about that.
You know, you know.
By the way,
It's funny. You would forget about a bet that you haven't known.
where are you guys at in that bet? Is it paid off
The
completely?
fact that you just said you just forgot. Shows
No,
shows you
I-
where we are on that. Yeah.
I said I was hoping you forgot.
Oh no.
That's what I was hoping, but
Okay. We haven't forgotten.
yeah.
All right. So
apparently
you went
not.
to Boise, Ohio.
Yes, with a stopover in Salt Lake City, which, by the way,
Still said yes.
you know what? It's
I
whatever.
can't tell if you didn't correct him because you didn't catch it or you just don't care.
I just don't even say anything
Let's just go
anymore
on now.
because
I'm gonna
it's
assume
gonna.
it was the first one.
I just don't say anything anymore because it's always that.
It's okay. You didn't catch it, did you? It's true.
I did, and I just don't. I don't even say anything anymore.
Fair enough.
'Cause y'all.
Okay.
So, yes, Salt Lake City, first stop, and this is my first time being there. Also, first time in Idaho, so got to check off 2 states. And the views going into Salt Lake City were phenomenal. The mountains. I mean, I knew it was going to be beautiful, and it definitely was.
Didn't disappoint. Never does.
Nope.
Nope. I got in a lot of exercise walking in Salt Lake City.
If you need to get your steps in, you need to connect through Salt Lake City.
Now, did you have to take a jet bridge to get to, or sorry, not jet bridge, the long walkway? Like you actually were on the apron and had to get off the aircraft and get on a bus and then be bused?
No.
Okay. So that happened to me a year ago or 2 years ago where they were still doing construction. And so they had everybody had to park and then walk down the stairs and then get on a bus
right.
and then take that long walk. Oh, it was forever. So, okay. But anyways, so you said that you had to walk a lot.
Yes,
Which is a common theme in Salt Lake City.
Yes.
absolutely. Yep. So I walked a ton, and then it was on to the A220.
Oh, so this,
This is almost the reason for the trip besides the state.
It was
right.
the deciding factor for me booking the trip. Yes. So it was amazing as usual. Short flight, only like 45 minutes, but it had some really cool features on it.
All right. Tell us about it.
So it had scrolling at the top of the seatback entertainment, outside air temp, headwind, local time at destination, distance to destination, true airspeed, altitude, heading degrees, ground speed, and on the flaps, actually when they put the flaps down, you could see the settings, so 10, 15, and 25. And
That's
was
sweet.
so cool.
Yeah, the more detail, the better for me.
And it's just AvGeek heaven. Like a lot of these things, you would have no idea what they all are.
A lot of the new IFEs, they do give extraordinary detail.
They do. And yeah, it's like if you were just a standard person that knew nothing about aviation, you'd be like, What the heck is
Probably
it?
not even looking at that speed either. Or not looking at that page, I should say, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was on the flight tracker. That was on. So, yeah, that was a great flight. Super smooth. Got to hear those legendary whale sounds.
Oh,
It always hits different when you're on the inside, right?
Yes. And I got so many videos of it.
So many videos of it.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, videos of it whaling.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, had to get that audio. Boise, pretty standard.
Pretty standard Boise. I'm not sure. What does that mean?
yeah.
What is standard? Like a city? What do you mean?
I mean, it
It does exist. You confirm it exists?
It exists, yes.
Okay.
In Idaho. All right.
Not in
we'll
Ohio.
stop. All right.
But yeah,
For now.
yeah, for now. But yes, I went to the aquarium and botanical gardens on my second day. When I got there, it was kind of in the evening, so not much to do. Me and my friend Raleigh and Braden went spotting the next day on Friday, the day I went home. And we saw some A10s working the pattern at Boise.
Are they from Boise? Who are these guys?
Raleigh is from St. Louis and Braden is from Boise. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Sweet. Shout out to the plane spotters.
Heck yeah. And yeah, we saw some A10s working the pattern. And then if I'm not mistaken, I'm not very well versed with my military aircraft, an F-18, I believe, but a fighter jet of some sort. So
You posted something. You saw like a Japanese Coast Guard or
yes.
What was that?
Yes, you brought that up. Yes,
I
thank
did
you.
just now.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for that.
You're welcome.
But yes, Japanese Coast Guard. And so that was like a super rare catch, and it wasn't showing up on radar, of course. And so I just visually saw it coming up, and I'm like, oh, it kind of has like a cool color on it, it's like a really cool blue. And then I take a picture of it, and I'm looking closer, and I'm like, hold on a minute. And I'm reading it. It says Japanese Coast Guard. I'm like, you guys, so that was really cool.
I think the picture you posted of it on Instagram, there's like a dude out the
Yes,
window.
and we noticed that at the time that there was some guy, and it
Oh,
was
so you did notice that at the time. Okay.
yeah, and it was like not a standard window. It was like
It's like
a big
full
window.
length,
It was like the,
ceiling to floor window.
yeah, it was, and it was so weird. I was like, okay, first of all, why is it there? Second of all, why is there someone just sitting there staring out that window? Like, are they? It didn't even look like they were in their seats.
It'd be cool
to
if
be honest.
windows were like that on all planes, like from floor to ceiling. That'd be sweet.
I would love that. I don't know why they're not doing that.
I'm trying to look it up. Okay, so I see right now. Oh, yeah, I see that now.
You see the guy?
Yeah, I see the guy.
Yeah.
Can I show everybody?
Yes.
All right. I don't know if you can see it, but there was a guy there.
Yeah. We're showing
Or
the
you can
camera
also
right
just
now.
look at Omaha Spotter page and get a better look at it yourself too.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yep. So yeah, we spotted for a few hours. Got to the airport. Flew Southwest back through Denver, favorite airport. Had a nice 3 hour stop.
What a day for you, flying Southwest and through Denver.
Right?
It's like-
I mean, how does it get any better?
That's what I was going to ask you. I'm not too sure it does it?
Right? Oh my goodness. Well, I got home very late, at about 1 a.m. And something I want us all to note right now, because this might be a first. I didn't have any issues with my flights.
Nice.
None at all.
About time, honestly.
Right. I mean, the most I had was maybe a 30-minute delay, but that's nothing
No, that's
nothing too
That's
crazy.
not a problem.
So yeah.
There's nothing you can think of that went. If you got a nitpick, you can't even find something. Like it was just flawless.
Not even a letter.
A letter?
It's a reference.
Oh, okay.
But if you got a nitpick, you can't find one thing that happened. You had a perfect flights basically. Besides, obviously, the irrelevant 30-minute delay. But
I mean, yeah.
that's awesome. That's what I like to hear. I feel like that's how mine usually go. I mean, luckily, Adama will make up for it here shortly on his trip.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, you kind of like, give the floor to Adama. We'll leave our problems, our problem-free trips for Adama's
Yeah, just
Yeah.
wait.
coming.
And I will say that, and from what I could see, I was the only one with a free seat next to me on the A220.
An open
Open
seat.
seat, yeah. And it
Nice.
wasn't that way the day before because it was taken. But yeah, so that person must
That's where
have,
aileron's at, right?
Yes, exactly. It is where she's at.
Of course. Okay, but all right. So let's get back to the A220 though. You totally forgot to mention something.
Oh my
to us
gosh.
that-
Yes, I just now remembered it. I went to the bathroom.
There we go.
And the bathroom has that window.
Yeah, we
Yes.
know.
Yes.
Well,
On
some
the 100s, yeah, the Deltas.
yeah, and some A220s don't have that window though.
That's
Depending
correct.
on the airline, yeah.
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 And we just a shout out to AVL because Kevin went out to Breeze headquarters and they talked about the A220.
Yeah.
They don't
and-
have it on that one. Theirs.
Yeah, I think there's a couple other airlines depending on how they have it configured. But yeah, no, it's definitely true. It was an assumption until about a couple weeks ago that they all just had them.
Yep.
And they don't.
Yeah.
Well,
it
and
wasn't until
Air
you
France
flew your Air
didn't
France.
have it. Yeah.
Yeah. I figured they all did until you flew your Air France. And I was like, what?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
don't worry
but-
about it. I'm going to talk about it on my segment with the ITA,
Oh.
the ITA A220,
Yeah.
which they do have a bathroom. So
Yeah.
just heads up.
They do.
There's no bathroom.
There's no bathroom.
There's no bathroom at all. It doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
Awesome. So yeah, and nothing about Epley. You don't have anything to say about Epley.
Nothing went on at Epley either.
Man,
It-
everything.
It all went, I mean, just about as smooth as it could go. So,
That means whenever you fly next, you've got it coming. Like it's going to
Get
be
ready
rough.
for it.
you know,
The Avenue gods.
and this will be talked about in the next episode, but I am flying to Denver and back on my birthday. Number one, for the purpose of flying on my birthday, which is the main reason. But Southwest also had their big, huge sale that they have like $40 one way. I'm like, why not? You know, I have the day off from work already. So yeah, I'll have 5 hours in Denver, and I'm a little bit afraid. So we're gonna be crossing our
But
fingers.
you've also proved now that it's possible to have I shouldn't say stress-free, but a problem-free flight.
Exactly.
For a while, I wasn't sure. Like it was just a thing with you. Like I kind of avoided flying with you, to be quite honest, when we went to like LA because like stuff just
Wow.
stuff just
It's
happens.
true.
Am I wrong?
Oh no, it's
Stuff just happens.
definitely true. Like, what when we came back from Fort Lauderdale, we were delayed and delayed and delayed.
Oh yeah, for like 2 hours, and we got home at
Because of
like
you,
2
I
a.m.
now understand why you don't fly with Paige. Yeah, that makes sense. But for your trip, I think that does deserve
Let's go. Let's go.
Shout out to Boise, Idaho. By the way,
Yes.
would you do it again? Or I shouldn't say would you do it again. Would you visit Boise again?
Yeah. It's not too bad of a place. I don't think- It's
Yes.
very
as in-
peaceful.
Yes, as in no, or yes, as in absolutely.
I think I would. Yeah, absolutely.
Would you live there?
It's too cold now.
Because
Too cold, too much snow.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too much different than Omaha, really. At the end of the day, though.
What I did learn is that Boise is about half the size of Omaha. It's very small.
yes, and
Closer to the national parks, though, and they've got that going for them. I mean, they're right next to Montana. I mean,
Yes. Yeah.
I went there 10, 15 years ago with my job, and I thought Boise was pretty nice. I also got up to Idaho City, which is about an hour and a half north, and if you drive that coastline or that coast, it's along the river, so that's why I say
Gotcha.
coast.
I was going to say,
It's,
what coast?
The Idaho River coast.
They don't coast.
It's a beautiful, beautiful drive. So yeah,
Yeah, I've heard up that way is really beautiful.
nice.
But yeah, it was a very peaceful trip, and that's kind of what I was trying to go for, is because one of my favorite things when traveling is nature. So that was kind of where I was aiming for with that trip. So
Dope.
mission
Awesome.
Accomplished.
Justin,
yeah,
What's up?
you went out to the PHX,
Yes, sir.
Arizona.
Let's see. Yeah, so
I'm jealous.
I wasn't necessarily like an aviation-based trip. Luckily, I had to use aviation to get there. Shout out American. I took an early flight out. Took the 5:30 a.m. flight.
Oof.
It's a rough one. And that was also the day that we lost an hour. So you could argue it was a 4:30 a.m. flight. You could actually argue it was almost a red eye out of Omaha. In all honesty,
Oh, yeah, basically, yeah.
still got to Phoenix and it was dark.
I mean, did you sleep in the airport the night before to make it easier on yourself?
Absolutely not.
No. I know people who do that.
You were right next to a special too.
Oh,
American Airlines, the original heritage one, like
Yes.
what
The
they call
bare
the bare
metal?
metal,
Yeah.
or what I call it, the American livery. But anyway,
OG.
yeah, that came in from. I think that was heading out to Dallas. Unfortunately, it was so close, but like you said, yet so far at the same time.
Yeah, right. I get that.
So yeah, I took that 5:30 a.m. flight. Like I said, you could argue it was 4:30, but either way, I mean, like, I'm not necessarily a morning person. I kind of have been as I've gotten older, but when I'm flying somewhere, I have no problem getting up. I don't know about you guys, but like when you're flying that morning, I'm good to go. Like I will be there on time no matter what the flight is. But yet it's weird if I've got a work meeting at 7:30 a.m. I'm going to struggle to get there. But yet, if I got
Right.
a 5:30 a.m. flight, boom, there.
Oh yeah.
Much
problems,
more
no problems.
exciting. Yeah.
So let's see. Yeah, it was an odd flight. So because it was the day that we lost an hour. So
Yeah, I didn't even think
so
about
flew
that.
2.5 hours to Phoenix. Got on the ground. Still dark in Phoenix. Very kind of a mind f, if you will.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, because
I didn't-
Arizona doesn't not do daylight savings time.
Right. So we were then 2 hours behind, but just kind of weird. Completely screws with your mind. Still landing dark, but yet you had breakfast on the flight, but yet you landed and it was still dark. Right. 5:30 a.m. flight.
Yeah. Wow.
Wait. Because what's a 3-hour flight? So
Yeah. Yeah. Anything over 2.5 hours.
yeah. Wow, you got breakfast. So what was breakfast?
So there's weirdly only 2 options. So the first class, there's only 2 options versus dinner on the way back. There's like 8.
Did you hear
options.
that throwing it out first class?
There was 8 options on the way back, but the 2 on the, I thought I went with the right one here. So this is actually the one thing I did want to mention is I went with the salmon. There's salmon, and then there was like this vegetarian weird thing, and I was like, nah, I'm off on the vegetarian weird thing. But then when I got the salmon, it was maybe the most disgusting looking piece of meat I've ever seen in my life.
I can imagine that, to be honest.
I mean, like, I'm a salmon dude.
You got
I'm a
salmon.
guy. Okay, the 2 options were salmon or like this vegetarian quiche. That the way it was worded in the description, I'll have to pull it up, but it was not attractive. But at least like everything else came with a bagel, stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha.
So like I was at least willing to take a risk with everything else it came with. But I'm a salmon guy. Say what you want about it, but
I love it.
salmon is cooked differently on a plane, so it's not like it reeks up the whole plane. Like if that's what you're trying to get at.
No, it's fish on a plane, so
And it's different. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's offered, it's not going to smell. Like, trust me, it's not like it is when you're cooking it in your own home.
yeah, like broccoli is the same way it smells. Like
Right.
Anybody who brings broccoli.
But anyway,
Yeah.
so, I mean, I'm contradicting myself here because it was the wrong choice. I mean, like I said, it was cooked, right? It was just it was a certain type of salmon that is just, very easily cooked and like it can just be served. It's just,
Yeah.
I'm a texture guy and like certain textures just freak me out. Like,
Right.
just like, no, I'm out. I was immediately out on it. Luckily, hit a Starbucks when we got to Phoenix. But anyway, so it's funny. So I'm fast forwarding a little bit here, but on the flight back, the options, there was like 8 options for dinner. Weirdly only 2 options for breakfast, but then 8 options for dinner. But I had
That is a
I had
lot.
the short rib for the way back, and that was legit.
Okay.
That was high class. I will say that was a fine meal. It came with these cheesy potatoes and this short rib, and it came with like a little bundt cake, and they served free glasses of wine along with it. It was amazing. Like. I'm usually pretty depressed coming back to Omaha on any flight, but that made up for it. That helped me through it.
Yeah.
So my question about the breakfast, maybe from Omaha to Phoenix, is it because it came from Omaha? Like we don't have.
I doubt it was because I highly doubt it even came from Omaha. Period. It was
Yeah, it
probably
was
flown in from somewhere.
flown
personal,
in.
but yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably why. Yeah, because I'm like we don't have the chef gourmet
Sky
trucks
chefs. Yeah, we don't
come
have
up
those.
and whatnot. So
Well, we have the food. It's just not made here. Yeah,
right,
That's
and
all it is.
Right.
Then I'm figuring out like how do they bring it on the aircraft? So
Ironically, it gets flown in from other planes.
Yeah.
To get put onto a plane.
Right.
But yeah. So yeah, I mean, good flights. I mean, I went down there to spend some time with my family and go to spring training. If you know anything about me, my life consists of being an Av geek and also a basketball guy. So I love spring training. It's such a relaxed atmosphere down there. I mean, like everyone's in a good mood. It's not a coincidence. You're either retired, you got nothing going on, and you're just watching baseball, or you're someone like me, you took the week off and you're just watching baseball. So everyone's just hanging out. We're all friends. Everyone's having a good choice. Everyone's
just
having a
one
good
big
time.
family.
Amazing beer selections at the games, like amazing selections
oh yeah,
that you just
Arizona
can't
has
find
some good
here.
beers, yeah.
I'm willing to pay $30 a beer if I have like 100 choices. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a little easier to pay that price tag that you pay at games nowadays if the selection's worth it, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But no, it was a great time. Saw plenty of baseball. We can leave that to another time. I know we're here for aviation purposes, but saw plenty of baseball. Had a great time. We stayed very close to the airport. I got some spotting in. There's a couple mornings.
Okay.
I went out to. I don't know what the locals call it, but I refer to it as the Salt River Shore location, and that's across the runway. So like when you're looking at it, it's got tower shots, and you've got downtown to the left.
Yeah.
Oh.
Everyone knows the location. I refer to it as the Salt River Shore. It's got that little kind of patio thing. It's got a long trail. Perfect place for if you just need a quick stop. It's very easy to get to, and our hotel was relatively close. But yeah, no. And the great thing about a lot of the ballparks we went to are within the community of Phoenix, like Scottsdale, Mesa, you know, cities like that.
Yeah.
Planes are always on approach. So like my ideal peaking moment for me, a peaking Justin moment was sitting at a Cubs game. We were watching the Cubs and the Brewers, and the British Airways A350 just landing during the middle of the second inning. Life didn't, like, you talk about being at the Denver airport flying Southwest. This was my moment. This was my moment, was just sitting there watching spring training baseball and having international arrivals at like 1,500 feet. Life didn't get much better.
Yeah, that was really close, that video you sent.
It was, yeah, it wasn't like exaggerated at all. Like it was awesome. Those planes were like 1,500 feet at that time.
Yeah.
So it's great. Yeah, and that's me right there in a nutshell. if I had to wrap myself up, if I had to like total it up. But yeah, we came back. I think we got around the same time. We got about midnight, 12:30, something like that. Which there's a lot of flights getting in at that time. LA's weirdly busy at like 1 a.m.
Yeah, and then after that, it's nothing. Like nothing takes off after 7, except a random Allegiant every once in a while.
Right, or that Frontier also has a few late departures.
Oh yeah.
But it is funny how many flights get in between the hours of like midnight and 1:30 here.
Yeah,
it does get a little chaotic down there. But anyway, I had a good time. We'll be going back, hopefully. You know, no, I'm not going to jinx it. Never mind. Not even going to bring it up. But anyway, so yeah, those are our trips. I think, Adama, you just kind of stayed at home, didn't you? Something like that.
Oh yeah.
Do we maybe want to intermission before we?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, thank you.
So we're gonna call it an episode. Great,
hey guys.
Yeah,
we will be right back for segment 2.
All right, guys, welcome back to the exit row. Adama, you flew on a really small plane recently, like one of the smallest in the world, right?
Oh, you're talking about the A380.
Yeah.
Yeah. I flew on.
She's talking about the Embraer.
In A380.
I mean, yeah.
Technically, the Embraer.
Yeah. So
It happened.
So let's start off. Yes, I did a trip to Milan, and I've been trying to take different routes.
Shout out to the wife.
Shout out. And I've been trying to take different routes to Milan. And so this time I went over to LA. So I took the Embraer 175 from, it was American, so it was SkyWest. And took that all the way to LA since we have a direct flight. And I wanted to take the Justin way to LA.
The Justin.
Hey,
what up?
Do you like that? How that rhymed? And so I got to, let's see, really the Embraer 175, don't sit in 20A because you have no window seat. The windows are like separated, like, yeah.
Oh, they're not like aligned with the seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's pretty typical with the Embraers. Sometimes you just don't.
There's an aisle no matter the airline. It always starts getting off at some point.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
you either got two halves or none at some point. Like sometimes you have two halves.
yes.
Yeah.
I got 2 full windows on the A3 or A220.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's yeah. So
Yeah.
Embraer, anytime you get it, you go, oh, dang it. Let's see. That flight, beautiful arriving into Los Angeles because the sun was setting, and you get over the mountains and you're making your descent into LA. I really love that. Now, obviously, it's going to change in the future with like now that we're an hour ahead, but really, it was great. Good. It was still a long flight for in an Embraer. I would prefer it to be a larger aircraft, but
Yeah.
it did its job. The one downfall with it was just really when you arrive in LA, you have to go to the terminal that's away.
No, this is the best part of it. You have to take a bus.
Yeah,
on the tarmac.
except if you're waiting for the bus for like 30 minutes and you're trying to get somewhere, I could see where that could be a nightmare for somebody trying
Yikes.
to get a flight somewhere
But
else.
hey, for us Abbeys, actually, that's almost half the reason I take that flight. It's because you get to go on the tarmac.
Oh, it was great. I took video of it too, and everything of being out there and like seeing I don't remember which aircraft it was, but just like being that close and
Yeah,
you're
they
like, oh,
call it the Eagle's Nest. The Eagle's Nest.
It is.
That is so
It's
cute.
also a shout out to AVL. Yeah.
it's not a shout out to some other thing from World War II. So,
Sure.
so that was cool. I spent the night at the H Hotel that night.
Word.
And the AVL, they were live. Kevin was out there, so I talked to him after he got done with his streaming of Nighthawk, and I did talk to him. I got to meet him. I did get a goodie bag, pretty neat. I also met a spotter, John. I don't remember what his Instagram handle is. I could pull it up real quick, but happened to meet him. We hung out and we even did some spotting on that Saturday before I actually took the big flight. The flight I've been waiting for is John _77_69.
That's a great thing. Not to interrupt you. That's a great thing about the H hotels. Chances are, if you run into someone up there, you're gonna have something in common.
Oh yeah.
90% of the people staying there are av geeks.
Absolutely.
So, that's the great thing. If you run into someone on the patio, you're probably gonna get to know them.
Oh yeah, it was pretty cool. And John was pretty cool. We talked a lot. He talked a lot about his father and a lot of premonitions and stuff that have happened. It's really cool.
Okay. Premonitions, interesting. All right.
Or I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Moving on.
Whatever.
Premonitions. I'm not too sure that was the word you were looking for.
I don't think that was the word I was
Yeah,
using.
I don't think so either.
So, anyways,
It means when people are gonna die.
yeah.
Predicting the future.
All right.
Slaughter John. Whoa, dude.
No, never mind. I meant to.
Dang.
Anyways, yeah.
No, we've gone too deep into this. What was the word you were
Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. Anyways, his father.
I like to think he has a premonition now. He knows when people are gonna die.
No.
Right.
Oh, God, here we go.
I'll go
All
ahead
right.
and send him a message.
I don't
used
know
the
how
wrong
long
word.
Slaughter John.
No. Okay. Never mind. All right. So
Now
John,
you know how I
John,
feel.
I
I'm just
apologize.
kidding. I'm just reacting to what I'm hearing.
I apologize. Never mind. All right. So, anyways,
No, don't apologize. I think we need to talk about this.
so we're not going to. All right. So, I did.
Okay, fine. All right. Shout out Spotter John though.
John, sorry.
Leave
about
us on a cliffhanger like
All right.
that. It's okay.
Use the wrong
guess.
word.
I have so many questions.
Okay. So, anyways, I did take the A380. Good old Lufthansa. Yep. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, we're done. All right. All right. So we're moving on. All right.
Not so funny when it's you, apparently. You screwed up, man. Just accept it. It's cool.
About to stop this.
I
And
would
start
love
it
to
all
know the
over
word
again.
that you I'd love to know the word, though, right?
No.
Yeah, I want to know.
His father passed away a year ago, and so he sees signs like things
Oh,
that make
gotcha.
me think of his father.
Okay.
I used the wrong word. I apologize. All right, got it.
No, you're
I mean,
good.
I get that though
Done.
too from my deceased loved ones, so
So
I get it.
all right, that's what I was trying to say. John, I got it correct ish. The words I don't know. All right, back to the Lufthansa
You beat
A380.
yourself up too much for that, man. It's not a big deal. We're moving on. E380. So we're on
All right.
top of the bottom.
So I was at the bottom. I did not get the top,
shoot.
unfortunately. But I really did like the boarding process of the A380. You have those three jet bridges, getting everybody on that aircraft because it's so massive. And I came in. I was supposed to come in the middle, bottom, into the aircraft, but I ended up taking the front bottom of the aircraft. And I did. When I did that, I came in and I saw the stairs to go up.
So is boarding by like group members? How does it work?
Okay, so in LA, they had it by rows. And then they had, so for
You've got
me,
3 jet bridges, so I'm assuming you're all grouped. You know where you're going.
correct, but it's all like first class and business were in their own, but then like premium economy, which is what I was in, had their own section, and then economy just had like multiple
So
sections.
they just called rows like 50 through 55 at its like.
No, everybody boarded at the same time.
Oh,
And you just had three different lines to get onto the aircraft, and so everybody boarded.
So no matter where you sat, you just boarded at the same time?
Yeah.
That seems really
Jeez.
disorganized.
it does.
I'm sure it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense as I'm thinking about it right now.
Right. You
Yeah.
like how do
You're telling me
how
there's-
do 850 people get
So
on at the
all
same
of
time?
premium economy just boards at the same time? Yeah. That doesn't seem to make sense.
It seems like there might be fights every once in a while for, oh, I want to be on first, you know.
So whatever the numbers were for whatever rows there were, they all had their own part of the aircraft to get on. So there could have been a little bit of economy with my premium economy.
I mean, boarding aircraft like the A380, it's like a science. The thing is so huge.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was so quick compared to getting on
Right.
a A330 or some of these other.
You just got one jet bridge, right?
Right. And so I was like, I like this. Why can't we do this with all the aircraft? I know they do that in Europe, where you have to get off the aircraft and they bring stairs on both sides why can't we do that?
And shout out
Right.
to Tom Bradley International. That terminal's so nice. I've not flown internationally out of there, but flown out of Tom Bradley, and they've got those like glass doors. Those things are sick.
Yeah, it was really nice, and I also did stay in the what is it, the Centurion Lounge.
Nice.
So I had to wait like 20, 30 minutes to get in there, but I was able to get my time in there.
That's funny. There's a wait at the Centurion Lounge at the at Phoenix as well.
So yeah, it was really nice. Especially getting on that long flight, you're like, okay,
Let's have some chill time before you.
So boarding the A380 was weirdly quick, is what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought so. And like we waited quite
Was
a
it the full
bit.
flight? Do you know?
Yes, because Lufthansa in their strikes. Thankfully, I went the
Wasn't
day
it
I
the
did.
day before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure
remember
we
that.
talked about this, but like it canceled, I believe, the day before.
Yes,
Yeah.
it canceled the day before, so everybody that
No.
The 747 was canceled on my day, not the A380. So people were trying to get on the people who
Okay.
who were out of the 747
Yeah.
who got canceled
Right.
got on the A380.
I'm also
so
just
it's
like
super packed.
remembering this out loud because AVL was live the day you got in, and
Yes.
A380 actually. I remember I was watching live at Taxied, and then it turned around and went back to the gate because I had
Yeah,
a
Correct.
medical
just someone.
emergency on board.
Yeah, someone had from what I heard, someone had a really severe panic attack.
Which is crazy because it was about to be a really great moment where he had
both so
back to back.
yeah.
Kevin was so upset about that. I don't blame him though. That would have been
We
cool.
were all upset about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an amazing thing to look at. And it's crazy because they are striking a lot. And
Yes.
the second time I went to LA, or the first time I went to LA, when Diabaya was there,
Oh, ouch, my heart, ouch.
Lufthansa was having strikes that day as well.
Yeah, and she was there for like 2 days or something leading up to that, and then left 3 hours before I got to LA.
Yeah.
And I tell you that heartbreak does not even begin to describe the way I felt.
Yeah, we know. But anyway, I feel like the comment you make about the strike, I feel like every other time I've been to LA as well, I feel like Lufthansa's having some sort of
Yeah.
strike.
It's always a strike.
Yeah.
Like in Milan, it's always the strike of the metro. They're always striking.
But
so.
yeah, luckily your flight, because I did think about that. I wasn't going to say anything because I didn't want to be that guy that.
Oh no, I
Your
did.
flight.
You should have.
You had to think about it though, right?
Oh, I was totally thinking about it. So get on board.
So what's your seat number?
Good
Probably
question.
Like 52A or
It was like a
something
window
that.
seat.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, I could go back here on flighty,
Oh,
but I'm
yeah,
not going to.
yeah.
So I had the window seat because I wanted the window seat. No doubt about it. You have to pay for that. So that's the one thing about Lufthansa
Oh,
and
that's
Air
right.
Dolomiti, anything under the Lufthansa brand is you have to pay for your seat, and it's
No
just
matter what the class.
yeah. I'm not sure about first class and business up there, but down there in premium economy, you have to pay for your seat.
So you just better hope that you are assigned the seat that you want.
Yeah. So, but I paid for my seat because I wanted a window. I wanted guaranteed window.
Oh, for
If
sure.
I was on an A380, I would do the same.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was a rainy departure out of LA, but a very smooth takeoff out of there, and I thought it was great.
Does it feel as big as it looks on the inside?
Oh yeah, yes.
Like, are we in a building? Like, how crazy is it when you get in there? Does it, like, I guess I just asked about it.
Again,
Does it feel as big as
seeing-
it looks?
Seeing stairs.
stairs to go up
That's
to
what
the
I mentioned to
second.
someone. I was like, you have a staircase in a damn airplane.
Yes, like now
awesome.
I know that in the E4B because it's a 747. Like I
Right.
know about the stairwell, but that one is a circular stairwell, right?
But seeing a legitimate
But this one's just
staircase, right?
yeah. You're
Which
just
is like crazy because you see these planes and you see them, in real life landing and taking off, and then you think there's a literal staircase inside that airplane when you're looking at it from the outside and knowing that is crazy to think about.
and all those peons who are trying to get on are just like looking and like, oh, it's heaven up there. Like it's just
Right.
so nice. But yeah, so premium economy got the Porsche design a toiletry bag, or not toiletry bag, but the little bag that they handed out to everybody. Yeah, I think I told you, great takeoff in the rain, seatbelt sign. So one of the things that Lufthansa does that I've seen multiple times is they're very keen about being safe. And like the Chinese, if you've ever fly a Chinese carrier, they do not bring they do not turn off the seatbelt sign until they get to about 30,000 feet. So this one I annotated, it was about 29,200 feet was when they finally released the seatbelt sign, and then even the stewardess and stewards, they all didn't move until that actually. I actually wrote it down. 3,000 feet was when
Oh,
they
wow.
all moved. So I was because I was.
I like how you've got that noted, but not your seat number.
Right?
You got the specific altitude, but yet you have no idea where you sat.
It's
No.
one of those things that like I remember this, and I wanted to talk about it. How,
That's why I like bringing that up. That's just funny. We were at exactly 27,325 feet. Where did you sit? Not sure.
I can get that if I need.
That was just great.
I annotated so I showed you two that it's a small outer window with a big inner window.
And I never knew that was a thing. That
Yeah.
just looks really weird.
It looks like a spaceship-ish. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. I did get pre-drink orange juice. I just wanted to say that.
Exciting news.
Hey.
Right.
The Wi-Fi had some weird options. I don't know why I wrote that down, but I don't remember what was weird about it. But it had some weird options. I think it was like different weird tiers and whatever. But the cameras on the A380, and I showed you guys pictures
Oh, yeah.
of,
Of the camera up on the tail.
and it was
Cell cams are sweet.
it was so cool to like see other av geeks inside premium economy all having different parts of the aircraft on. So we're all like looking at each other and looking at them.
the A350 does, but I guess I don't know. Does the A380 also have those wheel well cameras? Because the A350
That's-
does, and those are
It,
sweet.
it had a front camera, it had a
The tail.
tail camera, and I thought it had a side.
So I don't know if you've got. Have you seen those on the A350? They got a front wheel well camera. It's pretty.
I think
it's
I
pretty
have
crazy,
seen that,
actually.
I'm
yeah.
not sure I've seen.
That's a pretty cool camera.
It was cool to see, like, when we were landing, and like I had a different camera and somebody else had a camera, so we could like, and then somebody had a map, so you could see like where we're at, and I was just like, oh yeah, that's so cool seeing it. So, and that would be really cool if you're actually in the middle seats. I think
Yes.
having that camera would be nice, and that would suck to be in the middle. But
Yeah, absolutely.
let's see. They had that in their entertainment system where you could connect your app or your phone to the IFE, but I realized after the fact that it was literally for just to move, so you didn't have to touch the screen. So I was like, oh, I didn't like that. I thought I could like listen. There's some where you can actually, some IFEs where you can actually listen to your headphones through it. So, let's see. Had a phone way to go down below the stairs. Oh, so below the stairs, I thought that was pretty cool that there's closets in the stairs below, like, going up, that the stewardess would all put their coats in there. So I was like, oh, that's
That is cool. That
nice
makes sense.
use of space.
Yeah.
So the light above the seat was weird because it had the three lights. Okay, so the guy next to me, so it's a 2-3-2 configuration, I think, and the guy next to me would turn his light on and off, but it wouldn't take the third light; it would take the second light, and so he was very confused. And then he remembered because he used to help train people on Lufthansa. He's like, this actually used to be a 2-seat or a 3-seat configured. It was 3-3-3. And so he said that's the reason why that when he was hitting the button, it would hit the second light and
That's
not the
interesting.
third light.
So the A380 had a different configuration at one time.
Yeah. Yeah. So in that area, because it wasn't premium economy, it was premium or it was economy. So it was a 3-3 or 3-4-3 configuration. So I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense now. Let's see. Yep. They made everyone put their shades down for part of the flight due to us going into the sun after dinner and allowing
Flew
everyone to go to sleep.
Whoa.
Yeah, we were
Right.
flying directly into the sun.
It got
Exactly.
pretty hot.
Exactly what I said.
Right. Spaceship status. Maybe that's why those windows are the way they are.
So I've got a question.
Yeah.
So are you able to walk around anywhere? Like, can you go upstairs if you're not sitting up there?
No.
That's the
Oh.
cool question.
You could do it, but you're not allowed to go up there.
Oh, shoot.
Right. So do you know that going into it, or is it like brief? Like you can't just wander. Like you can wander, obviously, like on your floor, I'm sure, but you couldn't go upstairs.
Yeah, you couldn't go upstairs. I'm pretty sure it's blocked off too. I didn't
Well,
even.
you say you could, but you're not allowed. So what do you?
It's like on any aircraft, like in first class. You're not supposed to go in first class if you're economy to
Right.
go use the bathroom.
Right. But I mean, it's a difference if it's blocked off, though. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I'm pretty sure they block it off.
That was the only question I had going into this was like, if you were upstairs, could you go downstairs? If you were downstairs, could you go upstairs? You know, because on long flights like that, people are going to walk around.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, because that was my question. I want to get on that staircase.
Me too.
I guess I could have tried.
So you're saying technically you can't go up there unless you're ticketed.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which
'cause
makes
it's,
sense.
it's premium up there. They're gonna be
I
like,
did
they're gonna, you're not allowed up here. Get down there.
I did wonder that though. Yeah.
One of the things I did right was they did have the office, so I always judge
Yes.
airline if they have the office. So
I watched that on my A220 and it was the best.
and they did have the Dundies, so I was really happy about that. So for landing, they wanted everybody and they made everybody put their window shades down, so that way everybody could look out the window. So I'm making a lot of note about that ever since the A350 crash.
Do
out
they
there
have any
in
like
Idaho.
galley spaces where we could like gather, like there's couches and stuff, or was it just maybe for first class and whatnot?
Oh, that's for first class business. That's not.
Or I didn't know if there were others though, like
No.
because I know some airlines, even though it's not first class, there are areas where you can gather. If
Yeah,
it's not first
Emirates.
class.
I mean, in the back of the aircraft, you
Well,
could
yeah,
have.
Emirates, yeah, but there's others ones where you don't necessarily need to be like in first and premium whatnot. Or-
I've never heard of that, so I always thought that was the first premium.
It doesn't necessarily mean there's amenities there, but it's an area where you can be.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean there's a bar and everything. It's just an area.
Yeah, just.
I've
to-
never
just
even
to
seen
show.
that period, so that's cool.
And then, the landing was very smooth. I was very impressed with the landing. It just the aircraft is. It's a great aircraft. I still love the 747, but I finally got to experience the A380, and I definitely could say you're gonna have a very nice ride.
Good,
Ride
good.
it. So
I'll take you up on that.
yeah. After that, it was like I took Air Dolomiti and
Did you
Embraer.
get in the afternoon? What time was it when you got to?
It was noonish, I think, or it was like 1 or 2, and so then I took a 5 o'clock flight, Air Dolomiti, out of Munich. It was Embraer 195. The one thing I told you guys about that aircraft, I thought it was interesting, was in the exit row they had safety cards, additional safety cards that were yellow and they were sticking out, so they were
Oh, yeah.
larger, so everybody can see. And there was just for the exit row, so I was like, that's pretty neat.
Shout out.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Bumpy ride. Yeah, not much to say about the Air Dolomiti, except they did have Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi wasn't actually Wi-Fi. It was
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
What?
So you could log onto Wi-Fi, but it was more of like you can read newspapers, watch
Oh.
Air Dolomiti videos, and they did have a flight tracker. That was the one thing I was like, oh, thank you for at least showing me where we're at with a
Right.
flight tracker. So that was pretty cool. Well, not pretty cool. It was just something nice to have on there. Yeah. Other than that, it was great. Landed, and not much else to say about Air Dolomiti. But we're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back, and we'll talk about my trip back.
All right, see you.
Bye.
All right, we are back with the exit row, part 2 of Adama's adventures. So you're coming back now. You spent some time with the wife, right? Shout out to the wife.
Shout out to the wife. Yeah. So
Mrs. Adama.
ended up coming back from Milan. I came back on the day of daylight savings time, so just like you too. However, it was not that way in Italy. But yeah, came back. It was raining. Just so I had a rainy departure out of LA. Had a rainy departure out of Milan. Went to Linate again. I love to go to Linate. I do not like to go to Malpensa because it's the downtown airport and not the airport that's an hour away. And I took the A220. Oh,
Ooh.
yeah, with Ita. And it was. I told you guys when I took pictures of it, I talked to you guys about it. I was like, hey, so when you walk into this aircraft, it has like wood flooring.
So
Trying to give
posh.
This is
trying to give it some
crazy.
Italian appeal to it.
It is sweet. That is so posh. That is really awesome.
It was
right.
super chic.
I liked it.
Oh, it's awesome. Absolutely.
And even like the seats were like this just nice color, a little bit of blue. A little
I'm just saying
bit
those ETA
tan.
A220s are so sleek. They're so sharp.
Oh, yeah.
It was so it was pretty nice. I always love when there's a jacket holder, like a little knob, so you can put your jacket on. They have that in the seats. Obviously, they would because they're Italian and they all like to wear jackets. So they also had Type C, so the Type C and USB charger ports. Pretty nice. No free messaging on their Wi-Fi. Flight was quick though, but can confirm that on the 300 version of the A220, they do have the bathroom with
Ida,
the window.
at least with Ida, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately for that flight, we literally were in our seats the whole time because, like I said, it was raining and there was so much turbulence along the way that there was no chance for anybody to stop and get into the bathroom. So I cannot
I don't know why that was funny, but
I cannot confirm from the inside, but I can confirm like looking back, I was like, that's where the window seat is. That's the bathroom with the window. So and Ita is pronounced the way I pronounce it, which I got the confirmation when they were talking about
because
it.
isn't the argument, is it Ita or is it ITA?
Or ITA,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
So it is Ida.
it is Ita.
Huh.
So, and I wrote also very long runway. That is because I went to Rome. I went to Roma, Fiumicino. I can't say that one correctly, but that's where I went, was to Roma, and it was a very long runway and taxied forever. Roma Airport, absolutely. It was great. It's a beautiful airport on the inside. It is rated one of the 10 best airports in Europe at its beauty, and yep, I can confirm that it's gorgeous. And they have so many things that you can shop for if you last minute need anything, especially food. It's pretty awesome. I wrote has an automatic display. I do like the airports that do have you don't have a guy out there marshaling anybody in. I like when they have the actual board that has the automatic signaling you in marshaling. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Those are nice, yeah.
Yeah, I think Munich has the same.
Yeah, LAX too, where you flew out of. LAX.
Oh,
has them
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
on the international side.
So from there, I took the United 787 Dreamliner, the 800,
Oh, I bet you
or
had a great
the
time.
8. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
You guys already
typically
know.
that's the Dreamliner experience,
Oh,
you know?
it's a
Dream.
dreamy. Absolutely dirty inside. It is disgusting.
Yikes on bikes.
That's the last thing you need. Like, you already hated United.
Yes,
Right?
To be honest, you've never talked fondly of them.
I
No.
don't, and I was trying to give them a chance
It's
because
almost like they found you, or not found you, but they knew this was your flight, so they're like, let's find the 787 in the fleet that's kind of not with it.
and
Find the one that's the most beat up and
yes, and I happened to be on that one. It was not clean. Nobody cleaned while they were in Rome. Like, no chance. It was just get everybody on.
Which unfortunately does happen from time to time. I mean, it does.
Correct.
Right.
yeah.
So I was sitting in premium economy, and like the center console had this permanent grossness to it.
Could you elaborate?
Like
Ugh.
I could show you guys. This is what it looked like. All right,
Ugh.
and
So is that like scratches or is that like
it was like
Looks like spills.
above. It was like something like a candle. You know how like it
wax?
burns but it was just disgusting. And trying to show everybody that these two little spots here, it was just permanent. It was disgusting. And then when you look at the center console here, it's just dirty and like just.
it's weathered for sure?
And then the window I had,
Oh man, the weather.
it looks like
Oh,
somebody took their
God.
feces and put it on the window. Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not sure.
Like
That's
there's
interesting.
no love. United shows no love for
Mystery
their
spot.
aircraft, right?
And that's them.
Missed a spot. Yeah.
Mystery spot,
right.
not mystery spot.
So,
That is.
oh,
That is odd though. I mean, honestly, they've got nice Dreamliners in their fleet. You just honestly were on one of the rougher ones. Like, there's no way their entire fleet's like this. That's just not true. But unfortunately, you did experience a tough one. Yeah.
it was horrendous. They did not sell, or they tried really hard to sell their credit cards. I was like,
I remember you mentioned this like on the last time you flew an airline you hadn't before, and this is super common. Like you found this odd, but this happens all the time.
Yeah, but I've never.
Yeah.
I guess I've never seen it on Delta because people just have the cards, so it's not necessary to try to sell them.
I guess it makes sense.
So my meal in premium economy, I got the chicken, and the chicken was pink.
Maybe it was the same salmon that I had.
Yeah. Oh,
Right?
yeah. Maybe it was salmon. Yeah, it was pink and it was raw. I did not finish it.
I wouldn't either.
Well, if it was raw, I would hope not.
Yeah. Well, You're hungry. No, I'm kidding. I could not believe it. But then I could
Did
because
you
it
try
was
to get something
United.
back from it, like, or not necessarily back from it, but did you ask for like, can I get something else?
No, I was disgusted. I didn't want to.
You were so disgusted you couldn't even ask for something else.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty bad.
I was not. I didn't trust their food. If the chicken was bad, why am I going to try to
Right.
continue to enjoy
I'm
their
saying, like,
food?
it's at least worth trying to ask for something else. It doesn't mean everything's going to be bad. I'll at least try for something else.
I guess.
But did you at least let the flight attendant know, like, hey, this was pink?
No. I again, I'm disgusted with
You're just there in your
United.
feelings. I just
And I
picture
just-
Adama
Right.
just sitting there pouting. My meal.
I just, you know what? It was great that I was in the lounge beforehand. So
Right.
my priority pass helped there in Rome.
It wasn't that lamb shoulder from that one flight.
Yeah, no. So
Shoulder.
Nothing can top that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Delta can do it. Yeah, I wrote in here. I'm not sure I'd fly the United Dreamliner again, but you did mention that they do have the 10, and I'm like, I would maybe
If you
try.
had a
it
bad
out.
experience, doesn't mean it's just because it's on the Dreamliner doesn't mean it's not a service.
But it's United, so I make my way to Chicago, and that United terminal. Oh my God, it's terrible. American has an amazing terminal there, but you get to the United terminals, and they are just garbage.
Oof.
So, again,
Do you have anything good to say about the flight back at all, or anything?
about United, no, because let's talk about my
Word
flight.
cloud right now is terrible, sucks, awful.
Right.
Feces.
Some really bad energy
Yeah.
going on right now.
So now I take the United 737 back from Chicago, first class. I'm like, okay, I can maybe try this. Hopefully, end up great with United and maybe make me think positive about them. Nope, aircraft old, just old. The inside is old. First class. You and I had talked about it earlier before we started the podcast. Like old plushy first class, like pleather. The seat back in front had like a card swiper. Like I didn't know those still
Did it actually
existed.
work? The question,
Oh my
does it
gosh.
work?
I don't know. I'm not gonna swipe my card.
Why not? Why not?
It could have been, like a gas station. Like somebody's got the skimmer on there. I ain't doing that. Oh, the other thing I hate about that flight was
Oh, the other thing I hate about that.
Right. Another one.
I forgot to tell you guys about this,
Another
but there were a bunch
How
of
do you really feel about it?
there was like a bunch of dance moms and dance girls that were coming back from some dance competition. So half
Oh,
the
gross.
flight was completely packed of just girls, all just talking, and including in first class, this woman who was talking to her other friend so loud that the guy even next to me was like, "Shut the," and like just
Ooh.
yeah, it was it
Yeah.
was not.
What did he say again?
He said, "Shut the up." Yeah. And I agreed with him. I was
Did
like,
you really?
yeah.
Are you
You know, for real, because they were so loud and it was so unnecessary. And we're in first class and we're like,
obnoxious.
why are you so loud?
Right.
It was annoying. However, I will say the one thing I will say about the experience on that 737 was that the flight attendants were very attentive to the first class. Like some airlines, you don't see that. You don't see them like constantly like, can I get you something? Can I get you something? For the first 30 minutes, constantly just trying to fill up drinks, trying to do all that. And it made sense to me because I think it was John had told me that Delta Airlines, which makes sense, the reason why you could get some of the best customer service or you get the best service from your flight attendants on there is because their aircraft are old. And so they have to make up for the
Oh, they gotta compensate.
the oldness of the aircraft, and so they get you a better experience by being more attentive to you. So
Makes
Although you
sense.
should make the argument that service should not be different on any aircraft, but I see the point. Yeah.
Right.
well, yeah, and if you're going with that experience, but then again, remember flight attendants are there only specifically for safety, so they have
Yeah.
that added benefit of giving you a better experience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the argument.
Oh no,
right?
I'm saying like, and you might just notice it a little less on a newer aircraft just because it's older. You're probably looking at the service more. I
Right.
guarantee you're getting the same service on a new aircraft. You're just noticing it on an older one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was it. I came back. I'm here in
Time on the United.
Omaha, Nebraska, and I will not be flying United anytime soon. So, and if I do, I really wanted to save a lot of money and put myself through a lot of misery. So,
United's not always the cheapest option though either.
Yeah.
No, and this time it kind of was because I did a weird route. I went Omaha to L.A., spent the night in L.A.
That was also with American, though. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right. So I did a multi. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. That's right. So yeah. Other than that, that was it. And I got some flights coming up. Do you guys have any flights coming up?
I'm not going to talk about anything coming up in the future. I'm not jinxing anything.
Okay.
That's understandable for what it is.
Now I do know, like Paige, you don't have anything for the next podcast that'll be coming
No.
out. I know that I will be going out to Baltimore to go visit some friends through Delta. So hopefully I can get my better flying
We're
experience.
going to
back.
Baltimore within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm going out and also going to experience opening weekend.
Oh, that's right.
opening
Yeah, I guess you are
weekend
going
of
out
the
there.
Orioles. Yeah, go watch a game. So with my friends. So,
Your friends? What?
I've got friends, guys.
Oh, we were your friends, bro.
I've got friends.
Yeah, what the heck? You're not allowed to have any other friends.
Okay.
We're your mains. What the heck?
Well, then on that note, let's go with Paige. You know what time it is.
I know what time it is.
Paige's polls. Paige's polls. Paige's. Polls.
Yes. So, the first poll we have was a little while ago. You may or may not remember it.
I do.
I would hope you do. But we discussed this on the previous podcast. When do you start packing for a trip? 24 hours or less before departure, a few days to a week before departure, more than a week before departure. And I hate to say it, but 24 hours or less before departure won with 60% votes.
Why do you hate to say that? I mean,
Because you're wrong.
it just bothers you. That
I'm
people-
not wrong. It's just different.
It just
It's
bothers
just not
you
what
that
I
people
do.
are more efficient than you are.
Yeah.
It's not efficient. It's just difference in how you do it.
Well, you said you hated to say it though, so it bothers you clearly. Yeah.
I mean, not to a huge extent, but it's shocking more so to me because I thought people would be more in my realm of things of a few days to a week before departure.
I put out a flyer to the community saying, "Make sure you vote this guy
Yes.
on the poll."
Everybody make
wouldn't
sure
put
you
it past
vote
you.
against polls.
The poll is rigged.
Vote against Paige.
Yeah, it's rigged because of Justin. And
It's like an election. Yeah.
I could confirm that on this previous, all three flights that I had, or all three trips, legs, yeah, I did part
Yeah.
24 hours. I mean, LA would have been.
And I know in the previous podcast, we did kind of mention that it might be gender difference. So the guys usually will do 24 hours or less, and the women will do more. And I can confirm that with my parents. My dad says he does 24 hours or less, and my mom does more than a week before departure.
And my wife does more than a few days too. So she even told me afterwards, she's like, hey, yeah, I do it. Yeah, I'm like, I know. She does it too.
I mean, I was packing on the way out the door a couple weeks ago. That's just how it is. That's how it is.
I mean, you got to do what fits you, but yeah.
And
that's
it works.
Crazy.
I thought about packing for a long time, but then it came down to the last second, per usual.
Yeah.
All right, so that's page. That's poll number one. Poll number two.
Poll number 2 is a
Us.
it's a dual poll, so it's poll plus question. What is your favorite place on an aircraft to sit? Front, middle, back, or other?
This is a weird question. I'll be honest. I thought it was-
It's a little bit different, but and then at the bottom of that I put why because I kind of wanted to get some insight. So
was this to be clear? Was this question regardless of class? Like you're just talking like if you could choose anywhere, and not depending on class.
yes,
'cause see,
anywhere on the
that's
aircraft.
that's the only question I had.
Okay. Yeah. So it is anywhere on the aircraft. Front one at 54%, middle 34%, back and other tied at 4%. So the majority of people voted for the front, obviously, and the most common way people said that was just because you get off the quickest and you get on the quickest. Like, so that makes sense. Jet Set Shirts actually who voted others.
He's always got a comment that always gets stalking.
Yeah.
He does. He said he voted other, and I was kind of curious. He was
Of course he did.
the one person that voted other. Window, preferably not over the wing for maximizing sky and scenery views. So that I understand.
So he's technically a front or a back guy.
Yeah. A-list flyer Chris, those engine views and sounds. So that's front. So because the sound is different in the front than it is in the back.
Oh yeah.
So that does make a difference. S
This
under.
was back in the day on the MD-80s, sitting in the back. It was loud.
Oh
It
yeah.
was loud back there.
Oh yeah.
I loved sitting in the back on those because you'd be right there.
Right. And then S underscore Mahan 15, who chose back.
I think they're from Omaha.
Yes, they are. Yep.
Oh.
They said usually less people, more window seats to choose from. So that
Wait,
makes
what was that again? One more time?
usually less people, more window seats to choose from.
What does that mean?
On what part of the aircraft?
Back.
Oh,
Back of the aircraft.
okay.
I don't
Yeah.
think you said that. I don't think-
I was like, oh, I
I
was
did in the
confused.
beginning, but yeah,
okay.
back of the aircraft.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, well, first off, what do you choose? What do you choose? What do you? You know what I'm trying to say. What two
Yes.
do you
He's
choose?
trying to ask us a question, Paige, and you go first.
I get the vibe.
I think I'm hearing what you're putting down.
What do you two
I'm not sure if he's having a
choose?
I don't know if we should call 911. Was he stroking?
It's not a premonition.
He's having a stroke,
Oh,
everyone.
he's having a Spotter John incident. Farmer John.
Farmer
Yeah.
John. Poor John.
Premonitions.
But I choose.
Okay, while you think
That's-
about it,
that's
I'll
the-
go ahead and say front because it probably means I'm sitting first class, and also with the obvious reasons
Yeah.
getting off first mainly. But yeah, if I'm sitting in front, that means I'm sitting in a higher class. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You're used to Southwest, so please let us know what part of the aircraft.
Yeah, because actually, this is more of a Southwest question. Since you're not talking class, you're just talking plane in general.
yeah.
I do like sitting over the wing. I do like looking straight over the wing. I do like that.
Yeah, I really think there's pros and cons to both. And so Walker underscore Nixon said, I like to watch the
Another one
flaps.
from Omaha.
Yeah, I like to watch the flaps, engines, spoilers, ground crew, and wings.
The ground
flex.
flute?
The ground
Stop
flue.
it! Stop it!
I was like, is that
Stop
part of
it.
I'd like to see a flu. Yeah.
Wait, so,
Stop it!
so you still didn't answer the question. So where are you going?
Well, I kind of am along the lines of that, and also what Jet Set Shirt says. As long as it's a window, I'm fine. But
Oh my
I
God, say a
usually.
decision. Make a decision.
Well, I usually don't do over the wing just because of seeing like this scenery, but either front or back, I would say.
Ideally, I like just enough engine view into the engine, just enough
Right.
where I can see blades.
So I want to go on back to your previous comment about how you like to be near the front.
Let's talk
Remember
about
our
it.
silver ATRs?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the front.
You don't get off first.
Yeah, that rule of thumb does not apply.
There you go.
Right.
You know, which is funny because I did not know that. I can't remember. Were you unaware of that either?
I was unaware
Until
too.
we
I
were
wasn't
boarding in
aware.
the bag, and I was
Because there is a door up in the front, but that's for the
Yeah.
cargo.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. So that whole plan out the window.
Bamboozled.
Not only
Nice.
first on, last off.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
But yeah, good polls. Once again, good polls this week. Good polls.
Thank you.
And for myself, I prefer to be in front of the wing. I like the engine view.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get better than a nice engine view, just getting a good view of the blades.
However,
I
I-
love that.
However, I do prefer the. I'm kidding. I want that window.
You're a middle guy.
Terrible.
I can tell.
Middle seater.
I'm not a mid. All right. Well, then on that note, guys, let's go ahead and do the handle train. Paige, where can we follow you on the social medias?
You can follow me at Oma Spotter Page, and you can also follow my travel buddy, Adventures with Aileron. And I'm going to give a quick shout out to my friend Leia in Germany, who sent me a Ryanair safety card. And if you know anything about those, they are stuck into the seat backs, so you can't get them. But she sent that to me all the way from Germany, so that was really cool.
So how did she get them? Interesting.
I'll have to ask her, but she has ways of getting them. Not from the plane, but
Her name is Leia, like Princess Leia, like that kind of Leia.
yeah.
Shout out Leia in Germany.
Shout out.
Germany, yep.
Where in Germany do we know?
Can't remember.
Undisclosed location. We'll go
Yeah.
with that.
Undisclosed-
Since now
undisclosed
she's
German
she's
location.
tearing him off planes, we'll give it that undisclosed location in Germany. Maybe we shouldn't say where she is. So anyway, shout out Leia. That's cool.
Yeah.
Justin, where can we follow you?
At spotting.omaha.
Sweet. And you can follow me, Photography by Adama D on
There it is.
Instagram. There you go. You can also follow us, the Eggs Row Pod on Instagram, and I say we're going to be on other social medias in the future, but we'll get there. Yeah.
You know where to find us if you need us.
Yeah. So please like, subscribe, share, comment, give us some feedback, and we'll have better camera setup in the future, more cameras and whatnot. But this is just temporary for the time being.
Testing it out.
For us three out here in Omaha, Nebraska, thank you guys so much for listening to us. We will please listen to us in about 2 weeks. I cannot talk. It's time for us to go.
It's
Over and
struggle
out.
bus.
Over and
Thanks,
out.
guys. Bye.
Bye.